Welcome back, Renegades. Today we got some gameplay with Blue, Black, Usopp, and OP10 meta. You're facing off against Shanks, Lucci, Purple Luffy, and Blackbeard. If you like the content, your friends may as well, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Alright, let's get into it. Up first, we have Usopp versus Shanks. We're going to go first. Get our Dawn, play down a Leo, resting our leader. We're going to grab 2 Dressrosa cards. We're going to grab the stage and a 2K, the Bartolomeo blocker. We have to trash a card here. We're going to trash that Bartolomeo. Passing the turn over to the opponent here. They're going to play their Uda, getting a Shanks, passing it back over to us. We're going to deploy down our stage here, allowing us to, for our characters to have pseudo rush. And we're going to pressure 7 into life with our leader. They take this hit. I'm just going to pass it back over to them. Opponent's going to put 2 on their leader, pressuring 7. We're going to take this hit, and they just pass it back. 5 Dawn. We're going to put 4 on our Leo, and we're going to pressure 6 into life. They're going to use their leader effect on our leader, and then they're going to counter out. We're going to put down a Leo. We're just going to rest our leader, and we get 2 more of our Dressrosa cards, and we have to trash a card. We're going to trash the event there, Gum Gum King Kong Gun. Opponent's going to pressure 2 with their Uda into our rested Leo, just giving them that. 2 on leader, 7 into life. We're going to counter out. We're going to 2 and 1. Opponent's going to play down Lucky Roo and passing it back over to us. We're going to deploy down our Zoro using its on-play effect. We're going to get rid of that Lucky Roo. They're going to respond, getting rid of the Zoro. We're going to pressure 8 into life with our leader. They take this. And we're going to pressure their rested Uda with our Leo. They're going to use their leader effect, giving it -1. And we just pass it back over to them. They're going to use their Uda to pressure back into the Leo. We're just going to give it to them using card action. Get to draw a card. They're going to play down their Usopp, giving their leader a +1000 for the rotation. Putting 2 on their leader, pressuring 8 into life. We're going to counter out. Opponent's going to pass it back, leaving 1 Dawn open. We're going to play down our 7-drop Rebecca, and then we're also going to play down the Luffy and a rested Cavendish. Putting 2 on leader, we're going to pressure 7 into life here. They're going to use leader effect, and then just counter out. We're going to use our Luffy here. We're going to pressure their Usopp. Opponent's going to counter out here. We're going to use our Rebecca pressuring their Uda. We get that. We're going to use our Luffy's effect here to put 7 cards at the bottom of our deck in order to ready it. And then we're going to pressure back another 7k into that Usopp. They're going to give us another 2k, and we just pass it back. 1 on Usopp, or Usopp, going 7 into the rested Cavendish. We're going to give it to him, gaining a card draw. Going to play down another Usopp. Leader gets a +1000 per rotation. Pressuring 7 into our Rebecca. We're going to give it to him. Opponent passes it back over to us. We're going to deploy down our Rebecca again. And this time we're going to drop down a Frankie blocker and then a Leo. We're going to use Leo's effect, resting our stage, getting a couple Dressrosa cards. Then we trash the Rebecca Searcher. 3 Dawn left. We're going to put it on our leader. We're going to pressure 8 into that rested Usopp. We're going to counter out, getting rid of our Leo. We're going to use our Luffy effect to put 7 cards at the bottom of our deck to ready it. And we just pass it back over to them. They're going to attack 6 with their Usopp into life. We're going to give them a 2k. Another 6 into life with their other Usopp. Another 2k. They're going to put 1 on leader, going 6 into life. We're going to give them that last 2k out of hand. They're going to use their event there, Divine Departure, to get rid of our Luffy. We're going to draw a card off our leader effect and back over to us. Let's do 5 on Rebecca, pressuring 9 into that rested Usopp. We get that one. We're going to put our last 5 Dawn on our leader with another 10k swing going into the other Usopp. They're going to use their leader effect, giving it -1000 power, and then they just give it to us. We just pass it back over to them. We want to make sure we're keeping their board semi under control. They're going to play down their Ben Beckman, trashing our Frankie. We get the draw, but we don't get the on-KO effect. They're going to pressure 8 with their leader into our Rebecca. We give that to them, and they just pass it back over. We're going to play down our one-legged soldier, giving their Ben Beckman -3. Then we're going to play down a Kairos into a rested Zoro. We're not going to use the Kairos effect, but we're going to use the Zoro effect here to get rid of the Ben Beckman. And then we're going to deploy down a Rebecca Searcher, getting a 2-drop blocker. We're just going to pass the turn. There's no reason to swing on a 5k leader into a Shanks who has the ability. So 5 into life from Shanks. We're going to take it. They're going to play down their 10-drop Shanks here, pressuring 12 into life. We have to take this. We do get a Kairos from life. Back over to us. We're going to use our Gum Gum Red Rock. Put that Shanks right at the bottom of the deck. Get it out of the way. 2 on Rebecca, pressuring 6. And opponent scoops it up. Here we have Usopp versus Lucci. We go first here. We're going to get a Dawn player stage and pass it back over to the opponent. Opponent just gets their 2 Dawn, passing it back. 1 on leader, pressuring 6 into life. Going to get a counter out here. We're just going to deploy down a blocker. Passing back over to the opponent. We're going to pressure 5 into our life using their leader effect to give our blocker -1. We just take that first hit. They're going to play Khalifa down, drawing 2, trashing 2, and then they're going to give our blocker -2 and passing it back. We're going to deploy down our Zoro using its on-play effect to get rid of that Khalifa. 1 on leader, pressuring 6 into life. They take this hit. We just end the turn. Opponent's going to go 5. They're going to give our Zoro -1. We're just going to take this hit. They're going to play down an Uda, resting Uda to give our Zoro -3, playing down a Rob Lucci, using its on-play effect to get rid of our Zoro, and just passing it back over to us. We're going to play down a Cavendish here. We're going to attack into that rested Uda, drawing a card, and trashing a Rebecca blocker. They do give us that Uda. 1 on leader, pressuring 6 into life. They take this hit. They use a counter, or trigger from life, to get rid of our blocker. We're just going to play down another IDEO, passing it back. They're going to swing 6 into life with Lucci character. We're going to counter out. 2 on leader, pressuring 7. We're going to use our blocker here using card action to draw a card. They're going to play down the Brook to get rid of our Cavendish and just passing it back over to us. We're going to play down our Rebecca here, playing down a Luffy and a rested Bartolomeo. We're going to use our Luffy here to pressure that Rob Lucci, 7 into 6. They do give that to us. We're going to put 2 on our leader, pressuring 7 into life. They take this hit. We're going to use Luffy's activate main ability, returning 7 cards to the bottom of our deck to ready it. We just pass the turn. They're going to play Ice Age, giving Monkey D. Luffy -5, and they're going to play another Ice Age for Rebecca, -5. They're going to pressure 7 with the Brook into life here. We're going to take it. Looks like they're going to play a Tempest Kick, giving Luffy another -3, pressuring 7 into life with leader, giving Rebecca -1. We're going to counter out. Opponent's going to play down their Rebecca into a Spandine. They draw Kaku from life. They're going to play it down the Rob Lucci off the Spandine's ability, removing our Rebecca and Luffy. We're going to draw a card from Usopp's ability. They just pass it back over to us. We're going to play down our Zoro, using its on-play to remove the Rebecca. We're going to pressure 5 into that rested Spandine. We're going to use our Zoro, pressure the Brook. We're going to counter out. We're going to use our Red Rock to put that Lucci at the bottom of the deck, just passing it back over to the opponent. The opponent's going to pressure 5 into life with their leader. Using their on play, they're going to give our Zoro -1. We're just going to counter out. 1 on their Brook, pressuring 7 into life. We're going to take it. Here comes down their Kaido, using our on play effect. They're going to remove our Zoro, forcing us to trash a card. Our leader effect allows us to draw 1. We're going to deploy down our Kairos. We're not going to have any triggers for that, but we do get to attack 9 into that rested Brook. Opponent gives that to us. We're going to go 5 into life with leader. They counter out. We're going to play down another blocker and just pass the turn over to the opponent. We have 0 life. They're pressuring 9 with their Kaido. We're going to use a blocker and our card action to draw a card. We did draw another 2K, which is great. 15K into our rested Kairos. We're going to use our blocker here as well. Back over to us. We're going to put 3 on Kairos, pressuring 12 into the 9. They happen to have 2 2Ks to get out of that, so unfortunate. We're going to put 4 on our Usopp, pressuring the 9 into that Kaido to get it off the field, playing down a blocker, and just passing the turn. They use Shotgun, Finger Gun. Tenant on their leader into life. We're going to counter out. Back over to us. We draw Rebecca, deploy down the Rebecca. We do draw into a Frankie blocker, so we're going to be able to deploy that. And then we're going to put 3 on our leader here. Opponent's going to put 1 on their Lucci leader and go 6 into life using their effect. Looks like they gave our blocker -1. We're going to use our blocker here, using our leader effect to draw a card. And then we get to return a rested 3-drop with Frankie. We're going to return a Bartolomeo. They're going to play down Gecko into a Rebecca. And then they're going to get a Helmeppo, it looks like. And then a Brook. They're going to get rid of our Bartolomeo, just passing it back over to us. They have 1 card in hand, 1 life. So we're going to put 3 on a Rebecca, pressuring 7 into life, forcing them to take the life or use the blocker. They take the life. We're going to put 5 on our blocker here, pressuring 7 again. They use the blocker here, and then we're going to put 2 on Usopp leader and pressure 7 again. Usopp versus Purple Luffy. We go first. We're going to get a Dawn, play down our Rebecca Searcher. We're going to grab our 2K Sabo, passing it over to the opponent. Opponent's going to get their 2 Dawn, pass back. Put 3 on Rebecca, pressuring 5 into Luffy. They got a counter, pressuring 5 with leader into life. They counter again. We just pass it back over to them. Opponent's going to take a life to ramp a Dawn. Play down their 4-drop Nami blocker, putting 1 on leader, pressuring 6. We're going to give them that 2K. Passing back over to us. We're going to put 1 on our leader, pressuring 6 into life. Opponent takes this hit. We're going to play down our 4-drop Frankie blocker and pass it over to the opponent. Opponent takes a life to draw Dawn. They get a Luffy Taro. Using their on play, they're going to drop a Frankie Suki. 1 on Frankie, so it has rush. They're going to just go 5 into life with their leader. We take this hit, and they just pass it back. We're going to drop down our 7-drop Rebecca, playing a 7-drop Luffy, and a 3-drop Bartolomeo rested, attacking 5 into life. They counter out here. Just going to pass it back over to them. They're going to play down a Zorojoro, finding a Usahachi. 2 on Frankie, 3 on their leader, pressuring 6 with Frankie into our life. We're going to give them a 2K. 8 with their leader into life. We're going to use our blocker this time, and we're going to use our leader effect first to draw a card, and then we're going to put a Bartolomeo into play rested. Opponent's going to take a life to get an extra Dawn. 1 on Lufutaro, going 9 into life. We're going to take this. Passing it back over to us. 1 life. We're going to put 1 on Rebecca, pressuring 5. They take this hit. We're going to put 1, our stage down. We have 4 cards in our library, or in our discard pile so far. So we're going to put 3 on our Rebecca, pressuring 5 into life. They counter. 5 with our leader into life. They're going to use their blocker here. We're going to play down another blocker. And we're going to use our stages from hand to try to fill that discard up. So we have 7. We're going to pressure 7 into life with our Luffy. They're going to give us some counter out of hand. We're going to use Luffy's effect to put the cards from our trash in the bottom of our deck. We're going to pressure another 7K into life with our Luffy again. They counter out. We just pass it over to them. We're going to play down their 9-drop Big Mom here, gaining a life. We're going to use our card action here. They did put our Bartolomeo. Then they're going to pressure into the Rebecca, and now they're going to use their Zorojoro, pressuring into life. We take this hit. Luffy Taro's coming in for 8K. We take this. Opponent passes it back over to us. We're going to play down a Cavendish. We're going to use Cavendish to attack into that Zorojoro so we can draw a card and trash. They let us get that. We're going to deploy down a Rebecca Searcher here. We're going to grab our blocker. We're going to deploy that blocker down, replacing the Rebecca. We're going to put 2 on our leader, pressuring 7 into life. And now we're going to play down a Leo over top of our rested Cavendish. Using its on play effect, we're going to try to get some more counter in hand. Trashing a Cavendish. We're going to use Luffy's activate main again. And we're going to pressure 7 again with Luffy. They counter out. Just pass the turn over to the opponent. So they're going to split their Dawn between leader and Frankie. Going 10 into our rested Luffy. We're just going to let them have that. They're going to go 9 into life here. We're going to counter out. They're going to go 9 with Big Mom. We're going to use our blocker, Luffy Taro, into life. We're going to use our blocker. Opponent passes it back over to us. 2 cards in hand, no life, no blockers. We're just going to put 8 on our leader and pressure 13 into life, and we get it. Here we have Usopp versus Blackbeard. Opponent chooses to go first. They get a Dawn and pass it over to us. We're going to play down our stage and a Leo. We're going to use Leo's activate main to rest our stage, grabbing 2 Dressrosa cards. We're going to grab our Kairos and our Luffy, and we'll have to trash a card here. We're going to trash the Frankie. Pass it over to the opponent. They're going to drop their Shiryu and swing 5 into life. We're going to take it. They just use it so we can't use our on play abilities this turn, so we're going to go 5 with our leader into life. They counter out. Going to play down our Frankie and just pass the turn. They're going to use a Liberation here. They're going to nullify Frankie's effect. And then they're just going to give a 5K swing with Shiryu into life. We're going to counter out. Then they're going to use a leader effect Shut up around play, then swing 5, we'll counter, back over to us. We're going to put 4 on Leo, pressuring 6 into that rested Hero. We get that, and we're going to go 7 with our leader into life, and we get a life here. They did use the Ice Age trigger to get rid of our Leo. I'm just going to pass the turn over to the opponent. They're going to play down the Jesus Burgess and a Lafitte. They're going to use Lafitte to search up another Jesus Burgess, 1 on leader, pressuring 6 into life here. Debating if we want to use our blocker, we will. We're going to use our leader effect to draw a card. And then we're going to use Frankie's effect to put down a Rebecca searcher, grabbing a Bartolomeo. Opponent shut down our on plays. Back over to us. We're going to drop down our Luffy, put 1 on our leader, pressure 2 with Rebecca into that rested Lafitte. We get that. Now we're going to use our Luffy to go 7 into that Burgess. They have the counter for it. And now we have a 6K swing. We're going to put that to face. And they have to take that, so back 1 the turn. Opponent's going to put 7 on Burgess, going 14 into our rested Luffy. We have to give that to them. They shut up our on plays, pressuring 5 into life. We're going to take this hit, and they pass it back over to us. We're at 10 down already. So we're going to put 5 on our leader, and we're going to pressure 10 into that rested Burgess. They used an event to give it minus 4,000. So we're going to play down a Bartolomeo blocker, passing the turn over to the opponent. Opponent's going to put 6 on their leader, 4 on Burgess, pressuring 12 into life with their Jesus Burgess. We're going to use our blocker, and then 11 into life with leader, we take. They're going to shut up around plays, passing the turn back over to us. We're going to use that red rock to put that Burgess at the bottom of their deck. Put 2 on leader, pressuring 7. We could have just went 5 here. That way we would have had the Rebecca swing. They did use the trigger, the finger gun, to get rid of our Rebecca. We just played down a blocker and pass it back to the opponent. They deploy out the 10 drop and the pressuring 5 into life. Passing it back over to us. We're going to deploy our 7 drop Rebecca, our Kairos, into Leo. We're going to use Leo's effect to get a couple more Dressrosa cards. We have to trash 1. We're going to trash a Cavendish. We're going to put 3 on our leader, pressuring 8. They take this, and we just pass it over. So they played down a Lafitte, used the event or search to get a Black Spiral. Put 6 on their leader. They're going to go 11. We're going to use our blocker because they really can't afford to use their blocker just as a swing. Passing it back over to us. 1 card in hand, 1 blocker, 1 life. Put 1 on Rebecca. We're just going to chip a 5. They have to take that hit. We're going to put 5 on Leo. Pressure 7 again. They use their block here. And we have a 9K swing with Kairos. We're going to put 4 on Kairos and go 13 into life. And opponent tries to counter out what they can. They use an event, give it minus 4 and 1K, and we get it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. As always, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And we'll see you guys in the next one.